Sounds wonderful. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Wonderful to see you all. We're going to have a great class today. Maybe I'll make it extra challenging because there's so few of us today.
Oh, yeah, sure. Blame us.
You're going, well, really, it should be more of just a education and stretch class today, Jill. Just making sure we get every part in the video. There we go. Okay. Well, then that means today will be perfect for asking questions because it's going to be up to you guys today. You're in charge. This will be super, super fun. So just a quick reminder, make sure you have a clear space to exercise in, nothing to step on or trip over. I notice my fitness equipment is a little bit high up, so I'll adjust it. Make sure you're wearing sturdy shoes, nothing slippery like slippers, okay? Have your inhaler close by if you use one. Have your oximeter close by if you use one. Water bottle's always good. And then if you've got something to use as a weight, we're gonna use that today. And then if you have a resistance band, we'll probably end up using that today as well. Now let's just start with getting into our breathing pattern. And today, what I'm gonna get you to do is we're going to try to increase it a little bit. And we're going to pause just for a second. Once you've taken in your full breath, then once we exhale, I call it your lungs being empty, we're going to pause as well before your next inhale. And I'm going to count out 3 seconds for the inhale and exhale. If you need more time, please take it. And if you need less time, please take it as well. Okay. So I'll draw it out because sometimes that helps. So we're going to inhale for 3. Ready? Breathing in. 2, 3, pause, out, 2, 3, pause, in, 2, 3, pause, out, 2, 3, pause, in, 2, 3, pause, out, 2, 3, pause. In, 2, 3, pause, out, 2, 3, pause. In, 2, 3, pause, out, 2, 3, pause. Now I want you just to breathe in your normal pattern. Well done. And the goal eventually would be to make each of those points of that breathing pattern 4 seconds long. We call that box breathing. So a 4-second inhale, 4-second hold, which is a long time. Okay, so 4 seconds all around. That's the end goal that we're going to be looking to get there or close to there by the fall. Okay, so you guys have some homework to do. Aim for your 3 in, pause, 3 out, pause to start, okay? So now let's get into just our breathing pattern. We're gonna take our hands and I would like both hands making a figure 8 to start. You're gonna get right into your breathing pattern. So maybe that looks like a 3-second inhale, 4-second exhale. Good, and as always with that exhale, I want you exhaling like there's a line of candles in front of you. You're trying to blow them all out. Good, now we're getting some more people on. This is awesome. Perfect. All right, if you would like to start lifting up your toes or the ball of your foot, keeping the heel on the ground, you can. So again, it's like tapping your foot to the music. You can do 1 foot at a time. You can do both feet tapping at a time. And whatever direction you're making those figure eights, let's change the direction. Good work, everybody. Maintain that breathing pattern. And now we're going to get both arms circling one way. And now if you can, I want you lifting up your full foot. And if lifting up your full foot is a bit too challenging, just lift up at your heel and change directions of that circle. There we go. Whose knees are trying to circle as well? It happens. That's the fun part of coordination. Good. Now both circles going to the outside of your body, so moving away from each other. Once again, our hands are moving, your feet are moving, and we're maintaining our breathing pattern. Change directions of those circles. Now the hands come back in towards each other. Good. Now keep going with your hands. And now with your feet, I want one foot stepping the heel forward, one at a time. So 1 foot at a time, stepping the heel forward. Good. Now I want your left arm circling and your right arm pushing forwards and back. Forwards and back. Forwards and back. I told you, extra fun today. We love doing coordination for warm-up.
When's the fun starting?
In about 3 minutes.
I just wanted to say hi. I'm new.
Hello, welcome.
My name is Beverly.
Hi, Beverly. My name is Jill.
In Toronto.
Oh,
And-
brilliant.
So I couldn't get into the Lung Foundation Toronto one in the morning. So here I am.
That sounds wonderful. We'd love to have you join us.
Thanks.
We're very welcoming. We accept anybody coming in.
Okay, I will put myself on mute now.
Okay, no problem. If you got any questions, please unmute. And we're all switching hands. Now your right arm is circling and that left hand is pushing out and back.
Hi, I'm Tennille, and I'm new too.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm from
Oh,
Terrace, BC.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We love having new people join us.
Sorry.
There we go, everybody. Yep, doesn't matter if this is your first class or your 50th class. Everyone should find things challenging but doable. Just a reminder, you go at your own pace. So even if you only do 10 of everything and then have a rest, wonderful. Got to start somewhere. It's always better to start somewhere with a group. Okay, now shake out your arms. Brilliant job, everybody. Now we're going to focus on your legs a little bit. I want your left leg stepping out and in, out and in. Okay, out and in. We're going to do just a couple more of that so that your brain gets used to it. Because some of the people that have come to a couple classes, you know what's coming next. Challenge, more challenge. So as your foot steps out to the side, we're going to lift up. Side, up, side, up, side, up, side, up, side, up, side, up. Good. Excellent job, everybody. If you want to get your arms moving too, you can. And now we're going to do side, side, up. Side, side, up. Side, side, up. Side, side, up. There we go.
Leg is coming up.
Pardon?
Which leg is coming up when we do side, side?
Your other leg. So I suggested left leg steps out to the side first,
Okay.
and then you're going to switch legs. Your other leg is going to come up. So
Okay.
one leg goes side, side, and then the other leg comes up.
Okay.
Perfect. And that's really good for the brain to have to switch between different movements and different limbs moving. That's what we call coordination. And so we're not just exercising the body today, we're getting your brain working hard too. And now we're going to switch sides. So now whichever leg was lifting up, that leg is going to step to the side. So side and then up. And we're starting with just one side step. Side, and then switch legs to lift up. So one leg goes to the side, other leg comes up. One leg goes to the side, other leg goes up. Side, up. Side, up. Side, up. There we go. Excellent job, everybody. Remember to maintain your breathing pattern. And now we're going to do two, side, side, then switch to up. Side, side, then switch to up. Side, side, up. Side, side, up. Side, side, up. Side, side, up. There we go. Remember to keep breathing out through pursed lips. Even as it gets more challenging to breathe, breathing out through pursed lips is what's going to help you be less short of breath. Good. And rest there. Brilliant work, everybody. Now we're going to shift to just a march. So one leg lifting at a time. Oh. So one knee lifting at a time. And I want you making sure your opposite arm is moving with the knee. So I've got my opposite arm and leg moving together. Good. We're maintaining our breathing pattern. Excellent. And now we're going to reach our arm forwards. It's still opposite arm, opposite leg. Good. Remember, if you're just starting out, so your first class or your first couple of classes, it's always a good idea to just do 10 and then pause for a moment and rest. You're just getting into it. But you're in charge of how you feel. If you're feeling great, keep going. If you feel like you need a rest, please make sure you rest. Good. And rest there. Good work, everybody. So now with your feet, one foot is going to cross over, and you can either cross fully, cross the legs, or just have the feet in line with each other, right? So they can either fully cross over, or they can just step so it's in line and then bring it back. We are going to be alternating sides. So I'm going to say cross, back, 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 cross, back. There we go. Now, don't worry, I have not forgotten about your hands. We're going to get them involved too. And what that's going to look like today is as you cross, that opposite arm is going to touch behind. So I always think touch thumb to shoulder and then back. So it's a cross, touch thumb to shoulder, cross, touch thumb to shoulder, cross, touch thumb to shoulder. Yeah, make sure we're seated up tall. Make sure we're maintaining our breathing pattern. Excellent job, everybody. Couple more here. Good. And rest there. Okay, we should all be feeling a bit warmer. What we're going to do now is move into a couple of cardio intervals. So we're going to do 1 minute of work and have 30 seconds of rest. Now remember, your first goal is trying to keep moving for that full minute. Once you're able to accomplish that, or you know you can accomplish that, then you can start look at increasing the intensity. Does that make sense to everybody? Perfect. And remember, the goal with a cardio interval, yes, we're trying to get the heart rate up. You should expect that your heart rate increases and you have to breathe a little bit harder. That's how we improve our breathing muscles and our lung capacity. You just make sure you're not feeling dizzy. You're not feeling like you cannot catch your breath at all or take a full breath. Okay, those are all signs you need to stop and rest. Okay, our first interval for 1 minute is we're going to touch across to our opposite knee. And I actually want that touch there as best you can. If that feels way too easy, you're welcome to look at trying to touch elbow to knee. Okay, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And timer starts now. So we got 1 minute. So again, goal number 1 here is, can you keep moving, whatever that movement looks like? If lifting your knee and touching your hand across is too much, can you start with just touching your hand to your opposite thigh? Okay, maybe you alternate hand, hand, foot, foot. Because remember, the more limbs that are moving at a time, the more intense an exercise is, the more oxygen is needed. So you've got to find something that is challenging yet doable for you. And if you've got any questions on how to do that, please ask. That's what I'm here for. Excellent. And we're almost there. You've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. So 30 seconds to recover. I'd encourage you to find that recovery position, standing or seated, just forearms or hands off your thighs, chest is up, and really focus on breathing out through pursed lips. Remember, the goal is to get yourself huffing and puffing a little bit. And so your pursed lip exhale can sound more like this until it starts to slow down. Next, we're just stepping side to side. So if you're in the chair, if you're staying seated, we're just stepping and you can reach across your body. Ready and go. So step, reach, step, reach, step, reach, step, reach. First goal is to just keep moving for a minute. You know you can do that, then you're looking to increase the intensity. Good, I suppose I should remind you of a couple other ways to increase the intensity. The quicker you move your limbs, the harder it is. The more limbs moving at a time, the harder it is. Standing is an increase in intensity, or adding some resistance. So holding on to maybe some soup cans is as an example. We're almost there, everybody. 3, 2, and rest. Good. So you can go into a recovery position. This 30 seconds is where you really try hard to bring your heart rate back down, get your breathing under control. Well done, everybody. Now we still have 10 seconds of rest, but what I'm looking for you to do now is to reach your arm up and kick out your leg. If you've got a sore back, you might want to look at just lifting up your knee rather than fully extending, as that can tug on a sore lower back. Ready and go. Kick and reach, kick and reach. I should say kick and up, kick and up. Good. Again, the goal here is to get your heart rate up, increase your breathing. Yes, you should be huffing and puffing a little bit. You're halfway there. Excellent job, everybody. Keep breathing out through pursed lips as you go. It gets harder to maintain your breathing pattern the harder you work, but it's even more important to maintain it. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. 3, 2, and rest. 30 seconds. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Good. I see a couple thumbs up. That's good. I don't see any thumbs down, which is even better. You should be able to at least say 1 or 2 words. If you're so out of breath that you can't talk at all, you're probably pushing it too far. Okay. And for our next one, what I want you doing is stepping your feet out, out, in, out, out, in. And we're starting in 3, 2, and go. Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. Out, out, in, out, out, in. You're welcome to pump your arms. If that increases the intensity too much, you can leave your hands out of it. Just keep them on your hips. You can cross them, whatever you're comfortable with. Great work, everybody. You are almost there. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. 3, 2, and rest. Again, that recovery position is going to help you recover your breath quicker. Excellent job. Good. Next, we're gonna get our hands spinning over top of one another. And I would like to see you move from hip up down to hip. Okay, has everyone got that movement? We're going in 3, 2, and go. Good. Get those hands rotating over top of one another. And trying to move from hip to hip. If that slows you down and you want to just keep your hands where they are and go, 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 you're more than welcome to do that. We are halfway there, everybody. Good work. Almost there. Got 10 seconds. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Are we still doing good?
Yeah.
Perfect. We're going to go through 2 more intervals, and then we're going to have a longer rest period, which will be the perfect time to ask questions, to voice complaints, to tell me to work you even harder, all types of fun things. All right, So what we're going to do now, gang, is I want your feet in front of you and you're going to step your foot back one at a time. And you're going to push your arms out in front of you as you step a foot back. Okay. And we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Step a foot back, push your arms out in front. Step, push, step, push, step, push. Good. Maintain your breathing pattern. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. You are halfway there, everybody. You're doing wonderful. Excellent. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. Keep moving as best you can. And remember, the goal is just to keep moving, not moving as intensely as you can. Just goal number 1 is to keep moving for that minute. Then you can look at intensity. 3, 2, and rest. Recovery position. Focus on that recovery breathing. Even if you're a little puffed and it sounds like this, you're still exhaling through pursed lips rather than just that open mouth panting. Okay. That pursed lip is going to help you prop open your airways to get more stale air out so that you have room for more fresh air coming in. And our last interval, gang, is we're going to be bouncing our feet. So you can either get your heels bouncing up and down, you can bounce your full foot, okay? But we're starting in 3, 2, and go. This is your last minute of cardio. So again, either bouncing your feet or lifting and lowering your heels. But let's get bouncy with it. And if you want to move your arms along with you, feel free. Good. Hope this is bringing back the days of pogo sticks. We call this the seated pogo. Good. Get bouncy with it. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. Excellent. You're almost there. You're doing fantastic. Almost finished. There we go. We've got 3, 2, and rest. Woo! So now I'm going to give us a full 2 minutes to recover. And some of you, your bodies might prefer active recovery, which is some really gentle movement. If you want to kind of step forward and back to help you recover your breathing. And some of you, your bodies like best passive recovery. So get into that recovery position, keeping still, just focused on your recovery breathing. But I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And again, this is the perfect time to ask any questions that you have. Tell any jokes, whether they're good or bad. I'll laugh at either one. Good, but it's important that we have this rest time before we get into the strength portion of today. Uh-oh.
I have this great t-shirt. It says, "Don't take your lungs to heaven. Heaven knows we need it down here."
Oh, there we go. Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
We've had a couple lung transplant people in this group.
I'm a transplant. I've transplanted.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. In 2017. Then I got COVID in my new lungs.
Oh, no.
I was in the hospital for a month, and now my lungs are all scarred with COVID. So I'm back.
Yeah.
almost, but not as bad. I don't really need oxygen, but I have it just in
Brilliant.
case.
So when you
Brilliant.
got your lungs at first,
Yes.
were you able to walk and run and whatever?
It took me, mine was a really long recovery. I was in ICU for about a month, and then it took me about, I couldn't walk after because I was lying down, and I was intubated for 5 days, and it took me about a year to recover. Then I got an infection. But after that, I was able to do everything without oxygen. The only thing I
Wow.
couldn't do was run. It's weird. I normally jog, but I couldn't run. But yes, I could do, I went on a cruise. I went walking around Rome without oxygen. So yes, I could do everything without oxygen. And then I got COVID. But you still have to exercise the lungs, because they're,
You do.
but some people
That
walk
feels-
out 2 days, 3 days, and they're good to go. I wasn't that lucky, but I was good for till I got COVID. I was good.
Wow. And now you've been recovering really, really well. Well done. That's awesome. And yeah, everybody's bodies are a little bit different, right? It's even like a joint replacement. Some people feel amazing right away, and others just get more inflammation and scar tissue that they have to work through. We all have fantastic capacities for healing. They just happen at a different timeline, often slower than what we would like.
Now I have osteoporosis and osteoarthritis in my hips, so I can't stand. So I couldn't stand, and I got COVID, and then I couldn't stand to exercise my lungs because you have to walk to exercise your lungs, and I couldn't walk. So,
Well,
tough.
here is a great exercise for you that we'll get into. Everyone grab their resistance band. And if you don't have a resistance band, you could use a long piece of fabric, like even like a t-shirt, or you can just place your hands on the outside of your thighs if you do not have a resistance band. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap the resistance band around my legs. All right, and what we're going to do, remember this exercise is very key about you activating the muscles. And the muscles we're looking to activate are your bum muscles, the glutes that support the hips and help you all walk. So you have to clench them. Whatever visual aid works best. Pretend you're crushing a walnut between your bum cheeks. Okay, you're going to clench your glutes hard, 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 and push your knees out against the band. Your knees don't go very far. I don't want the focus to be how far out can I pull my knees. I want the focus to be how hard can you clench your glutes. Okay, and you'll find the harder you clench your glutes, the more your knees push out against the band. That is what we are looking for. That is the money maker right there. So clench your glutes, let your knees come out, and then relax. And you can tighten up on the band. You can double up on the band. Again, if you don't have a resistance band, you're just having your hands on the outside of your legs, and you get a little bit of an arm workout as well, because your hands are going to resist the pushing out of your knees. And please, if any of that did not make sense, please ask a question.
Why'd you call it money maker? Are you going to pay us?
No, but having strong glutes is going to save you money. And if I'm being honest, Barry, I was being cheeky too.
Just a little bit.
Bit of play on words there. I was wondering
Yes.
if someone would catch on.
Mhm.
Always rely on you two. Sometimes subtle humor is important too. There we go, everybody. So by now, if you do not feel like your glutes are getting tired, you're not clenching hard enough. And so what some of that is based off of, everybody, remember we talk lots about the intent of an exercise, and you purposefully activating a muscle is more important than the movement that you're doing. So what's really cool is some researchers did a big study on people who were mostly bound to a wheelchair, mobility wise, they still had, they were still able to activate their muscles in their legs. And so these were all people over the age of 60 in this study. And by doing maximum clenching of their glutes for a set period of time, reps and sets, just like we do our exercises, they maintained and prevented loss of muscle in their glutes and were actually able to increase the muscle enough that some of them were able to progress to standing more often and progress from there.
Cool. That's what I-
Super cool.
Impressive.
And rest there. But again, that's where the intent, intentionally clenching a muscle, contracting the muscle maximally, that means as hard as you can, is very, very important, and get to the point where it's fatigued to help you build your strength, to build the muscle. Okay, it's mentally really tough. We're not lifting weights that are heavy enough to do it for us, but you don't need to, but it is harder to do mentally. Okay, now right from there, you can keep the band where it is. You're just going to, if you are going to, you're just going to adjust your grip where you just either hold the band, you don't want to hold the band on one thigh anymore, you either want to hold it in the middle or shift the ends of the bands over to just one thigh. And the reason for that is the one leg is going to lift up. So you can have the band, it's going to be against the band resistance, but now as one leg lifts up, your other foot is pushing down into the ground hard enough that you can feel the glute clench. Okay. So we're going to do 10 of those on one side and then switch. If you feel like that's too much for you, do 5 and 5 twice. Ready? One leg pushes down, the other lifts up. Pause and down. Brilliant. Lift up, other leg pushes down, pause, and relax. That's 2. And lift. 3. Lift. 4. Lift. 5. Lift. 6. Lift. 7. Lift. 8. Lift. 9. And lift. 10. So because I have the band still around my thighs, I'm just going to slide the 2 ends over to my other leg, just so it's not interfering with my lifting leg. All right, and one leg lifts, the other pushes down hard enough that you feel that glute clench. And if you're finding that challenging, everybody, just with practice, it becomes better and better, okay? That's actually often why, if any of you have ever had a joint replacement or some sort of surgery, you'll remember from your early stage rehab, a lot of the rehab was just about activating the muscle. Yes, getting it starting to move a little bit, but there was a lot of, you know, oh, clench your thigh muscle, gently push against your hand, because that's building that connection between your brain and the muscle. I'm on about 5 of these. Sorry if I start counting out loud and that threw you off. That's 6. So one leg pushes down, the other lifts up. 7. Lift. 8. Lift. 9. And lift. 10. Good. Your glutes should be tired. They
This is a
should be.
great exercise. Exactly what I need to do is to activate those muscles. Because of the spinal stenosis, I haven't been able to walk on my legs since 2020 when I got spinal stenosis, COVID. So thank you. They're
Yep.
great.
You are so welcome. I am always happy to help us accomplish our goals And there's lots of different ways. There's never just one way to accomplish one goal.
Jill, will
I'm
that
always
help?
happy to support that.
Jill, will that help the back of the leg, like where I've got a Baker's cyst and I've got no strength in that leg?
It'll help a little bit, Barry, in a
Yeah.
peripheral way,
Yeah.
meaning you strengthen the glutes. It's going to help support your leg through what's called hip extension,
Yeah.
where your leg pushes off behind you.
Uh-huh.
Other things you can do, and this is for everybody, if you want to strengthen your hamstrings, that's the big muscle at the back of your
Yeah.
thigh. And if anyone else has a Baker's cyst, you have to be careful with how much you bend your knee and how far, because that's what can flare it up. But that's also a key way of strengthening those hamstrings.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is if you straighten the leg out in front of you, and everybody try this, straighten the leg out in front of you and push down into the ground.
Oh, yeah.
You'll feel your glute a little bit too, but you'll feel your hamstrings tighten up as well.
Very much. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you just push and go 1, 2, 3, and then relax.
Right.
And let's all do 2 more together. Push down, 2, 3, and relax. And push down, 2, 3, and relax. And because I'm always conscious of working both sides of the body, we now have to do 3 on your other side. So straighten out that leg and push down, 2, 3, relax. Push down, 2, 3, relax. And push down, 2, 3, relax.
Thank you, Jill.
Of course. And the other thing, because you don't always have to move. It's important to move a joint in its full range of motion to strengthen, but that's not the only way to strengthen. So another way, and I'm going to show everybody this, and everybody's going to do it with me. If you have a band, actually, you don't even need a band. I'm going to make it even simpler. If you sit back on your seat, I'm going to turn my chair a little bit, and I've got a chair leg, and I'm just going to put my heel against the chair leg. Now, if this range of motion is sore in there, anybody that has an issue in their hamstring or Baker's cyst, that's the back of the knee, just put something, a book, a block that puts your leg out further. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if this is too much flexion, put something down here. My goodness, I even have my dumbbell here, so I can show you. But something that's not going to fly away, okay? And then you're just going to push against it. You're going to pull your heel in, pushing against, and we're going to hold, 2, 3, relax. 2 more. Push, hold, 2, 3. And if you don't have an issue at the back of your leg, this is still a really good exercise to do, which is why I'm encouraging you all to do it with me as part of the exercise today. So pull back, pull, and you can even get your hand underneath and you can feel that muscle tighten up. Right? You don't always have to feel this big sensation in your body. Sometimes you have to use your hand to say, oh yeah, I feel that muscle tighten up. Awesome. Okay. Now, again, we do have to do our other side. I'm going to switch sides here. And we're going to pull back and we're going to hold, 2, 3, relax. Pull, 1, 2, 3, relax. And pull, 2, 3, relax. I want to quickly point out that that's strengthening out your hamstrings, the underside. You can do the reverse to strengthen your quads. And both parts are important for strengthening knees, especially with osteoarthritis. So how you can do that to strengthen your quads is just by going up against a wall, sitting in a chair, but you get your foot at that same angle. And if the wall was right here, I would just be lightly pushing my foot against the wall as if I was trying to straighten it. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mhm.
And that can be one way to help you strengthen your quad, especially if you have cranky knees.
I have osteoarthritis in my hips.
Yeah, so those glute exercises, so the quads and hamstrings will still help support the hip. But then you also want to be doing strengthening exercises of lifting and doing we did the push out against. Another one we sometimes do in class is getting a ball or your hands just between your knees. Why don't you all do this with me and just trying to squeeze your knees together? So that strengthens the inner thigh, your adductors. Okay. Can everyone feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might as well do 2 more. Squeeze, 1, 2, 3, relax. And then squeeze, 1, 2, 3, relax. I would encourage you to start with 10 repetitions. Start with 1 set, try to build up to where you're doing 3 cycles of, I gave you a couple exercises there, doing 10 repetitions of each exercise and then repeating it 2 or 3 times. Okay. Now we did all that work, activated all those muscles. Let's do 10 sit to stands. Add
Why
a weight.
not?
Why not? So even if you want to start with just 1, the goal with a sit to stand to really strengthen your legs is always to try to stand straight up. But if you got sore knees, lean forward, and everybody, no matter how good your knees are, everybody crush the walnut between your glutes. Press down through your feet. Make your muscles do the work so that it takes pressure off your knees. Try it with me now. Everything clenched, and push, 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 push. Everything's tightly clenched as you stand up. Good. If you need to relax and shake the hips at the top, do it. And then clench hard to get back down. The more you lean forward, the more pressure it takes off of sore knees. It's not bad for your knees to do squats. Okay, but if they're currently sore in that movement, that's when we have to modify the movement. Okay, and let's do 10 of those, everybody. Again, add weight to increase intensity as needed. And if you're not comfortable standing up, again, this is where we look to almost get you out of your chair. So the movement of just about to get your bum out of the seat, your feet are pushing down, these muscles are all tensed up, and then you relax. It's called a seated squat, a seated sit to stand. You push your feet hard into the ground, make sure you feel those muscles all tighten up, and then relax. I did say your goal was about 10. I apologize, I'm not counting for you.
Supposed to do them, okay.
Oh yeah,
I thought
oh
you were
yeah.
training it, saying ready to start.
You know, that's true. I didn't give you an official start time.
Already done 10.
There we go. Brilliant. I'm going to do 1 more here. Perfect. All right. While we're on this topic, everybody, and we've got just a little bit of time left before we stretch, strengthening everything helps.
Yeah.
Okay. And 2 things that we didn't even look at today, but we're going to right now, are the backs of your bottom leg, your calves, and the front, your shin muscle. It's called your tibialis. So what I'm going to get you to do is get your feet a little bit in front of you, feet flat on the ground. And I'm going to get you to pull both feet up, keeping your heels on the ground, but pull your toes towards you. And you should feel that muscle tighten up.
Oh.
If you just lift, it's going to take a lot longer. But if you focus on pulling as far as you can, pull, 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 and then relax. That's 1. Pull, 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 pull. 2. Pull as far as you can. 3. 2 more. Pull as far as you can. Good. And pull as far as you can. Pull, 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 and rest. Same thing goes with the calves. If you do it seated, you're working more a muscle in behind the calf, which is just as important to strengthen. It's called your soleus. That's where you can add a weight onto your thighs to make it harder. But you're just thinking about pushing off your toes and raising your heels. Okay, so push through your toes to lift your heels up. And again, to strengthen the calf, you can do it standing. Make sure you hold on to balance support. Slowly go up and down. And for those calf raises, and a calf raise again is lifting your heels up off the ground, making sure your ankles don't turn out or inwards. I often like to get people up against a wall to do these. And the more you lean into the walls, you'll notice now my body is at an angle rather than standing up straight. You're going to get a little bit more of a stretch down the back of your leg, and then lifting up your heels, you're going to go through a greater range of motion. So you're going to work those calves even more. But again, go to where it's challenging but doable. If this is too intense of a stretch, you got to bring your feet closer in, lift your heels up, press through your toes, and down. Okay.
I get a bit of a cramp in the back of the one leg doing that.
Yeah, so that's where you gotta, from a standing position or seated?
Seated,
Seated.
up
Yeah,
on the
so-
toes and pushing and cramp in the back lower leg.
Yeah, so what I would get you to do is get your, I'm going to use my weight as an example, and I'm just going to disclaimer that this is not a safe implement to use. I would use a thick book, a little box, but what you could do is start there. So your heel is dropped, so your foot is at that bit of an angle. Can you see this?
Yeah,
Okay, good. And then from there, just lift up. So you're probably getting a calf cramp if your foot kind of lifts up too far beyond 90 degrees,
oh, okay, yeah,
right? So if you start with the ball of your foot up on something,
yeah.
then you get to lift it to 90.
Oh, I see.
So it's still strengthening that muscle, but not taking it to the point where it's going to cramp. And then you keep working on that. Make sure you work on stretching this out as well. And you'll find over time, even in about 2 weeks, you won't get as crampy going beyond 90.
Yeah, with the foot raised, and then doing that, there's no cramping.
Yeah, but you still feel the muscle getting tired.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you work on that, and again, like I said, if you massage this with a rolling pin, you do that stretch against the wall, right, where one foot's in front of the other, and that back leg is getting stretched. I know this isn't a great view from the camera, I apologize. You'll find even in about 2 weeks, there'll be improvement there.
Thank you.
Of course. Good. Good. So I think all of that stuff is so important for everybody, no matter your age, no matter what conditions you're dealing with, no matter how fit you are. All that stuff is so important for supporting your movement and all the joints in your lower body. So I really do hope you felt that was helpful, guys.
Good. Very good.
And I would strongly encourage you to practice that. Implement it into a daily routine. Even if you just go through those exercises once, you're going to find a huge improvement in 2 weeks even. So with that said, we're going to lift up the elbow. We're going to gently push it back. And you are going to ask any questions you have or any comments. Go for it. Go.
It's a great class. It was a really good exercise. I've been doing the Toronto ones and they're good, but this is a little bit different. It's nice. And
Brilliant.
you're quite knowledgeable because I live with a personal trainer. And so you're very good.
Oh, thank you so much.
Welcome.
I appreciate that. Switching arms, everybody. Now, my goal is to always have everybody have an enjoyable experience and want to come back. So that's awesome. And I really hope we see you next week too.
I plan it to be.
Perfect.
I was gonna come Tuesday, but I figured it out wrong. I thought it was 10 o'clock my time, but it's really 4 o'clock my time. So, so
4
I'm
p.m.
4 p.m. my time. is
Oh,
what
good.
it- yes,
For a
but
terrifying moment, I thought it was 4 a.m.
and then I thought it was 10. I calculated it wrong. So I'm not a good morning person. So I thought I missed it, but then I realized I had the time wrong.
Okay, gotcha. Rest there, gang. Stretch one arm up, stretch the other arm straight down, and breathe. Any other questions, gang? It's a lot of content today.
Sorry, I must have missed it. So the classes are continuing
That's
Yeah.
right.
through when?
Until June?
June 13th or 15th?
Yeah, middle of June.
If
Okay.
Maureen has your email, she sent an email out
Oh. I
yesterday.
missed it. Okay,
Switch.
I probably missed it. Thank you very much.
No worries. We're always happy to help. I'm very excited we get to continue.
And we're glad you are too. It's
Oh, good.
important to us.
Wonderful. It's important to me too. And rest there. Stretch a leg out in front of you guys. Any other questions, gang? It's always good learning when there's questions.
What's your background? Because I'm new,
I am a kinesiologist,
right?
and I'm in the process of getting my exercise physiologist certification through our Canadian association as well.
Okay. So ACE, no? Okay,
Uh,
great.
Sorry, ACE? No,
ACE.
through CSEP. It's our Canadian Society of Exercise Physiologists.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Where'd you study?
I studied here in the Okanagan, in British Columbia.
I studied recreation at Waterloo in Ontario,
Oh, brilliant.
but I didn't do the physiology part. I just did the recreation part.
Gotcha. Yeah, I did all the clinical exercise physiology and anatomy, and I was on the physio route, but I liked the exercise piece a lot. We're all going to turn sideways or just drop a leg back behind you. Yeah, and I take new courses all the time. So always coming up with fresh knowledge, everybody. There we go. And you guys did awesome today. And let's go ahead and switch legs. Excellent. We're going to hold this stretch for a couple more seconds, and then we're going to just end with a couple of our belly breaths. So remember, it's inhaling, preferably through the nose if you can, and then breathing out through pursed lips. And today I'm going to count out a 3-second inhale, 4-second exhale. If you can do longer than that or need shorter than that, please do whatever your capacity is. We're going to rest there, and you can keep your hand just on your belly, or you can pull your hands out to the side as we inhale. Keep those elbows tucked in. Ready, and breathing in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. Shake out those hands, roll your shoulders back. Thank you so much for coming on today, gang. It was lovely to see you all.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
When I do that, breathe in, hold, breathe out, for a count of 4, hold, and what we were just doing, I find at the end of that, I'm more short of breath than I would be if I was normally breathing.
Yeah, so what I would encourage you to do, just at the end of the exhale, hey?
At the end of the whole thing, when I do 3 or 4, I'm fine doing it. But at the end, when I stop, I'm like huffing and puffing. I feel like I'm huffing and puffing to catch my breath.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Beverly, that can be a sign that that length of time is too much for you at the moment.
Right.
So I would encourage you to try just a 2-second inhale, 3-second exhale, or 2 and 2. And I would also encourage you to, it sounds funny, but the actual shape of your mouth can make a huge impact. I find some people, when I say pursed lip, they do a little bit more like a, and this kind of like flattened mouth actually has a lot of back pressure and can make you feel more breathless. I want you to pretend you have a straw, and even if you've got a straw at home, put a straw in your mouth and just practice blowing out through it. So you're making more of a,
like a kiss.
like a kiss. And the mouth shape is super important to having an actual pursed lip exhale and not feel breathless.
Great, thank you.
So that would be just one thing to look at and shorten the time if needed, if your mouth shape is good. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course. Fantastic question. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Jill.
You all.